Hey, this is Skylar, and I'm completely blind. I'm autistic, and I have a chronic heart condition. I want to ask you if anybody's autistic that's watching this. Sorry, a little parched. Um, do you like? Do you enjoy being wrapped up or like mummified? Because I've read that like deep pressure and stuff like that can really calm us down, and it works. It's for me, it's like a pacifier effect. Like when you give a baby a pacifier, instantly the baby calms down usually. Well, at school, I used to go to the school for the blind, and even before they knew I had autism, my O&M teacher would wrap me up in a egg crate, from the neck down, and like roll over me uh, gently, of course, with like a therapy ball, and I always would find it very soothing. Like it would calm me down like that fast. Like in that amount of time that it took me to clap my hands, I would already be just calm, euphoric almost, kind of. It's hard to explain. Um, and then like when I was diagnosed with Asperger's when I was 11. When I was 14 years old, I was hooked. This is kind of a funny story. I was hooked on the word cigarette, which was banned at my school. But I would always ask my teachers to roll me up like a cigarette. You know, if I don't smoke, but I know what a cigarette is, and I know it's basically tobacco rolled in paper. I wanted somebody to roll me up, not in paper, but just roll me up in something. Well, my gym teacher, after gym class, wrapped me up in a egg crate. Like one of those foamy things that you put on the bed. It's called an egg crate. They basically just wrapped me up in one of those, and I just found it very soothing. It would be very cool if they made adult swaddle wraps for like autism and stuff like that, because I find being wrapped up is, or as I like to call it, being mummified, is very soothing because, well, I don't know why my brain works that way, but as I, begin to research more about autism, you can go to Temple Grandin's webpage. Temple Grandin is the person that invented the hug machine, and obviously she feels the same way I do. The hug machine is basically as it sounds. It's a machine that you get into, and it like squeezes you. And she invented one for animals as well. But you can go to her webpage. I'll put a link in the description, and it'll give you maybe some more insight. But yeah, she has autism, and she is a professional, and she invented the hug machine. So obviously she feels similar to me. So basically what I'm saying is, oh, and one more thing I need to bring up, like when I was little and my mom would be like, you know, road raging in the car, like cussing people out, in the car and stuff. That would make me nervous, so I would reach up and, tighten my seatbelt just a little, and that always made me feel just calm, like that fast. I went from being uber nervous to calm that fast, and I never understood why. So, now that I'm learning, well, now that I've been learning about autism and deep pressure, and as I like to call it, mummification, um, I'm learning about, maybe why it makes me calm that fast, and, why it helps so much. So, like I said, it really would be cool if they had adult swaddle wraps for autism, because, I mean, being swaddled as a baby, it calms babies down. So, for autism, I think it would be great to have adult swaddle wraps. because like there's, I know there's weighted things out there, and believe me, I like weighted everything. But to have like a swaddle wrap for autism would be good. I'm half tempted to ask my mom to purchase me a mummy sleeping bag. Now, there are two types of sleeping bags out there. They're the rectangular kind, which are more roomy, but then there are the mummy kind, which is shaped different. Apparently, they say that it's rounded at the top and it tapers at the bottom, and it's less roomy than a rectangular sleeping bag. So I'm thinking about having mom just get me a mummy sleeping bag. So, like, when I'm stressed or something, I could just get in a sleeping bag for like 30 minutes or something and enjoy that sensation. But does anybody, anybody else who's autistic, does anybody have any suggestions about like what I can do to kind of get that input of being, wrapped up or swaddled or mummified, whatever you want to call it? Do you have any suggestions? I mean, do you have anything that might work? Do you know of anything that might work, like a product that I can ask mom to buy, or are you aware of anything that might work? If you're autistic, do you agree with me? Like, I do not have a problem with touch. I'm quite the opposite. I'm very well, I'm very touchy-feely, but not in a gross way. Like, when company comes over, I'm always hugging them and kissing them and loving on them and stuff like that. Caressing their hair and, you know, I like it when people reciprocate. I like to be, loved on and hugged and kissed and caressed and, you know, gently tickled and stuff like that. But touch doesn't bother me. The only types of touch that I do not like is, well, obviously assault, or I don't like being gorilla gripped, which is like a really firm, rough type of a grip. And I don't like gargalysis, which is the rough, laughter-inducing tickle. Gargalysis is the type of tickling that induces laughter. It's the rougher, firmer type of tickle. I don't like it because it's excruciating. However, I do like deep pressure and being wrapped up and being mummified. And I think it's a really good stress reducer. It has, like I said, the pacifier effect on me. It's like, boom, instant calm. Like, I could have, heart rate up to 9,000 and something and be so stressed out, but if somebody mummifies me, boom, that's out the window. I'm not even joking. So, I mean, is there anything that, like, if you're autistic, is there anything you know of that I can get that would give me that feeling of being mummified? And do you agree with me on that, by the way, if you're autistic? I hope that this video is enlightening for you, even if you're not autistic, and I hope that maybe you'll get something out of it.